I'm here representing Trekkers, and that is a team. It's me and my wife, Jessi. We both have a background in public relations, and she still works for a public relations agency. She works remotely for a virtual agency, and I do freelance contract work, writing, editing, project management. And then whenever we can, we are out traveling because we work remotely, and we like to make videos about our trips and the different things we're doing out of doors, and trying to encourage people to travel and see so many great things that we have in this country. In our van, we travel in a 2008 road trek. It's based on the Chevy Express chassis. And so this is our 20 feet of living space that we have, in terms of length, is about 20 feet long. And we are traveling right now. We are home based in Michigan, but we decided to spend the winter in Texas to get away from the cold. That didn't work out as well this year because of the winter storms. But it has been great here. And so, yeah, we're spending 3 months traveling around Texas in our van and shooting videos and writing blogs about it. It's between about 2 years, maybe 2 to 3 years. We really started to invest in it and kick off early in 2019 when we started a year-long project to really get everything rolling. And then we've continued it since then regularly. Started a project early in 2019. As I mentioned, we live in Michigan, and it was the centennial of the state parks in Michigan. So we decided, what if we were to take on this sort of crazy project and visit every state park in Michigan and do a video about it and do a review and tell people what they could find there? And there are 103 state parks in Michigan. So it was a long project. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. And that project really helped us to grow our following, because people started to realize what we were doing, and they found it as a great resource for if they wanted to camp in Michigan, or maybe they'd find out about a state park they didn't know about previously. And then our channel has continued to grow from there as we have continued to offer other resources on the channel as we've continued our travels. And we love hiking and biking and being in the outdoors. So that's a lot of where our camping and trekking comes in. But we're also big history buffs. So if we find an opportunity to visit a historic location, one of our biggest videos that really kind of went viral on us was when we visited the U-505 submarine in Chicago and did a big video tour of that. And so we love sharing that kind of information. In our careers, we have both worked in state government, and so state capitol buildings are of a lot of interest to us. And whenever we can, we'll try to stop and visit a state capitol and kind of do a tour of that for people. So it's really whatever we can do to show people what's out there to do while you're traveling. And sometimes it's very remote areas, and sometimes it's a very busy city with a state capitol. And then the other thing we try to do periodically is, because we get questions, and we'll talk about either the van and how we have it set up. We'll talk about equipment that we use and how it works for us. And we've gotten a lot of good feedback on that as well. A big part of getting started is learning to be patient. YouTube has its algorithm, and they have their systems. You have to have 100 subscribers before you can even get your link with your channel name in it. And then 1,000 subscribers seems like so far off, but once you get there, it really starts to grow from there. And YouTube's algorithm is really the more you grow and the more viewers you have, they help promote your videos. And so it starts to sort of tumble after that, and it'll really pick up speed. And that's what we have found. So I think being patient, and then also getting out there and doing it. You talk to any YouTuber and they will probably tell you, if you look back at some of your original videos, you're probably going to cringe a little because the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. And we've settled into somewhat of a pattern of how we do our videos in terms of how we shoot them and how we produce them. And that has helped us become more comfortable in front of the camera. But then also consistency of publishing. When we were doing the state park project, we were putting out one video per week. And then as they started to build up, we wanted to get those produced and out to people as a resource. So we started doing 2 videos a week for a while. And now that we have a bit of a following and our traveling is a little more erratic, we're not doing the state parks regularly, for example. We've now moved, as of 2021, we're doing a video every other week. And people have followed along with us, and we've continued to grow. So that hasn't impacted us. But I think initially, if you can be very consistent with when you publish, and if you can consistently publish a lot, I think that does help with the algorithm. And even when we've gone to every other week, we stayed with our time. We publish every Sunday at noon Eastern, And I think people just know that's when we're out there and when to expect new content. And I think that has helped a lot too. Whether it's views that matter or subscribers that matter, it kind of depends on what you're trying to do. And we like seeing more views, obviously, on a video because that helps with the algorithm at YouTube. So in the U-505 video, we still don't know exactly what happened, but that took off over about a week on us. And what happened was after it started to pick up steam, we realized that if you go to the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, and you look at their U-505 video that they have about their display that they have there. For a while, when you were done, our video ended up becoming a recommended video for people. So anybody interested in that topic suddenly had another video to watch, and it was ours. And that really took off. And then that helped our channel overall because YouTube started to recommend our channel more. So when it comes to getting more exposure, having a video that can take off is going to be a huge help for you. But we really look at subscribers as our number that we want to see. And that is because we want to try to connect with this community that we're creating. And having the knowledge that we have, over 3,000 subscribers now, people that regularly are watching our content and hopefully learning from what we're doing, how we're doing it, where we're going, learning about the places we're visiting. And we hope inspiring them to get out and do some of the things that we've already done. And the reason I say too, subscribers are very important because that's who we tend to hear from. And people will give us feedback, which is really important for how you adjust your videos later on. But also it's very rewarding to hear from people and say, hey, I never heard of that state park and it's not that far from my house. I'm going to go check it out. Or that's a beautiful building, or there's really interesting history there. And I'm going to go ahead and take that trip and go there. That's what we find very rewarding. And that's what really keeps us going. Yeah, thumbnails are very important, and that is because that's often the very first thing that people are going to see when they are scrolling through YouTube, or they'll get a recommended video, but it'll be a series of 4 or 5, 6 videos, and that's going to catch their eye is the thumbnail. So we generally will take a still shot from the video because there's usually something in there that when I put a video together and produce it, we're looking at somewhat of a theme. We end up sort of, depending on what we're shooting and how we end up putting it together. And so finding a screenshot that really sort of captures kind of what that video is about, but at the same time is going to pique someone's interest. And then putting, a lot of people will take a title for their video and put that on the thumbnail, and it's usually much too long. So what can you put on the thumbnail that's also going to grab somebody's attention and make them think, whoa, what's this about? And then they move from there to the title of the video and then the description. So that it's really, that's your main advertising, is that very initial thumbnail that people see, and it needs to grab their attention. And we've started traveling more and more. I don't know if we'll ever go full time and sell our house and go on the road full time, but we have started to really spend more time away from home and traveling, and that offers us more opportunities to shoot videos. And so I think we're going to continue doing this to inspire people. If we could see continued steady growth on our channel, that would be great. So we'd love to see that. And we have been consistently growing. When you look at the analytics on YouTube and you look at the past 28 days is how they set things up. Our number of subscribers has been going up. It's not necessarily going up exponentially, but we've had a very steady increase. It's very similar from month to month. And we see that as a positive, that we're doing something right. More people are interested in what we're doing and want to see what comes next. So I think we'll continue to do that, and it keeps us going. It is a lot of work. I mean, we have full-time jobs. We're working full-time, but we're still trying to do the videos. And I think hearing from people or seeing that we've inspired people is what really keeps us going, and pulling that camera out and shooting the video and then spending time producing it. Key part of it is figuring out your content and the delivery of your content, because there is such a saturation on YouTube right now. I mean, there's so many videos available. So how do you get people to stop and look at your video? And I think one mistake people make is they think they have to have all this expensive equipment and all these different accessories to get started. And we know people that started with cell phones, and just started doing the filming and getting the video and getting more comfortable with shooting video, with putting yourself on camera, with your delivery. So start small, start with what you have, and then add onto your equipment as you discover what it is you really need. I would say camera equipment, you can literally start with a cell phone because they're so good these days with the video quality. The one thing you could invest in, and it's not very expensive, is a decent microphone. having a good way to record audio, because we have discovered in what we do and also in watching others, people will put up with video that's a little shaky, but if your audio isn't clear, they are not going to stick with it. So you have to have good audio. And then the other thing too is you're going to break in somewhere or break out, which is probably the idea, is what is the niche? What is it that you are doing? Either your content is different so that people are going to find something different with your channel, or is it your delivery that's different? It's somehow it's entertaining or informative or something that makes you and your channel stick out. It's a very crowded market out there right now, depending on what you want to shoot video about. So find a niche, really bring it down to what you can focus on, and then find a way to deliver quality content, but also deliver it in a way that's interesting or funny, something that's going to get people's attention and then keep their attention.